us, where does God stand in your life, and what are you willing to risk in place of God? Giving your life to God, submitting to God's will, it's not easy. Alright guys, so I'm gonna have a little chit chat. So today I wanted to talk about like what priority does God, where does God stand in your life? So for me right now, he is, I don't know where God stands. Well, I know he is my everything. He's the one that sustains me. He's the reason I'm alive today. But relationship wise with him, I wouldn't say my relationship is perfect or even nearly perfect or nearly as good as we want it to be. But we're working on that. God and I are working on that. So, you know, like when this world can be very interesting. When we are feeling lonely, when I am feeling lonely, I need like something to sustain me, something that I can gain instant gratification from. So that is why, like a while back, I was feeling a bit empty and whatnot, and I looked for things to fill that emptiness. I don't like feeling lonely. I don't like feeling alone. I feel like I just need people to be constantly around me. I need to be surrounded, either texting someone or calling someone or talking to someone. I just need to be surrounded with people. Now I'm an introvert, but I like company of others. Does that make sense? Like I don't socialize much, but I like the company of others. So when I felt lonely, I was like, I looked for something that was constantly being there. Like if I write to you, you're gonna reply to me instantly. If I look for you, you're gonna find me instantly. Like you're always 24 hours accessible to me. And I never realized that it took the place of God. Like I think at some point I was like, okay, this thing is too much and it is taking God's place. Because, you know, like when you're ready to sacrifice so much for whatever that thing might be, and despite all reason, despite anything, you're just like ready to give it all, like blindly just giving it all. So that's the point. I was like, okay Rupa, hold up for a minute, you need to just reevaluate things. And I didn't have the strength to just hold it back, because this is what gave me like the sense of belonging. It gave me security. It made me feel like I mattered. And to let go of such things so that you can reevaluate your life to the bit hard for me. But slowly God was working in me, and right now I'm at a point whereby I'm like, I don't think nothing should take the place of God in my life. If something becomes so important to me that my relationship with God doesn't matter as much, then I just have to let go of that thing, as hard as it might be. But I have to let it go because it's not gonna help me in the long run. So letting go is hard, especially if something matters a lot to you, but it is the right thing, because you get lost in what you want. You become so self-absorbed by what you think is good for you that you forget that you don't know the long run. Like you don't know what comes up in the future. And giving your life to God, submitting to God's will, it's not easy. I don't think anybody will tell you that it's easy to commit your life to God, but it's worth it. You'll face challenges, you'll face heartbreaks, you will face disappointments, but God is the only person who's constantly there for you, who will stay by your side, who knows everything you're going through, who you can trust, because God is not a snitch and he doesn't disappoint you. So having God in your life matters way more than any being you could think of. It could be your boyfriend, it could be your sister, it could be your parents, it could be your friends, it could be anything. Nobody can replace the position of God in your life. So if you're at that point, and I mean, like, we all have to reevaluate our life. Think about it. Is there anything in your life that has taken the position of God? Is there anything that you're willing to sacrifice your relationship with God for? And if there is, do you think it's worth it? Do you really think it's worth it? Just think about it. It takes time. It took me like maybe a year and a half. It took me that long to realize that it wasn't good. What I was doing wasn't good. Not for other people, but for me. Like, I felt like this year when I turned 25, it's like everything just came boom to me, and I was like, okay, there's things in my life that have such a high priority, so I need to reevaluate that. And I realized, like, some things, if they're just taking a higher priority than God, I just need to let them go. And I learned to just slowly let things go. My neighbor is out and it's gonna be awkward. Good position. So I'm learning to let things go slowly. It's a hard process, but I know God has got me, and I'm gonna start focusing on my relationship with God and figuring out how to get back to Him, because I had wandered so much away, and I just need to find my way back. And it's gonna be a slow process. I'm gonna take one step at a time, but I'm gonna reach there eventually, and I know He'll be waiting for me right at the end. So actually He's gonna meet me halfway. He's with me right now. We're working on this together. So I'm happy, I'm hopeful, and I am feeling more at ease and more at peace, even though the choices that I had to make were a bit tougher, but they were the right choices. So hopefully this is going to inspire someone. Tell us, where does God stand in your life, and what are you willing to risk in place of God? See you guys in the next chit chat. What should we call this thing? I don't know what we'll call it. Find a name for it. We'll find a name for it. Guys, when I see you